All right. Good evening, everybody. I know we've got a bunch of people still jumping on. Carlos, thank you so much. One of my co-hosts here that is helping me take care of all the people and promoting them. It's good to see all your smiling faces. Get this out to your team if you haven't. You all have the link, so get it out to everybody so that we can pack this out, because I'm telling you, seeing this live and being a part of this is a lot different than watching a replay. Now, there's going to be a replay, and we are live on the Daring Dream team. So here's what I want to give you: just a few minutes of some ground rules, and you're going to laugh. But everybody, please remember, if you've got your camera on, that you've got your camera on, and we can see you. I had somebody the other day, I was on a live, and I forgot to say that. And they obviously forgot, because they were digging for gold. And so just, I know we all laugh, but we forget. You'll be sitting there and you'll be so engrossed in what's going on, and all of a sudden it's, so watch yourselves. We are live. It is being recorded for posterity. So the last thing you want is that to be on there. The other thing too is, be sure you have notes. I've seen a couple of you reach out and grab your pads and that, take notes, because, I've only known Tim and Lacey for, I don't know, it seems like a lifetime, but for a few months. It's probably been close to a year now. I think we met before a convention last year. But the thing that I love about this couple is, and you're not going to see Lacey tonight because she's sick, but one of the things I love is that they are old souls and young bodies. They have so much knowledge and so much wisdom and so much energy and passion and vision for what they're doing and how they pass it on to their team, that anytime I can be on their lives or I can get them to be guests for us is just an honor and a blessing. And Tim's going to talk about your Facebook profiles, and you're going to hear some things that may be just a little bit different than what we've been teaching and that, but here's what I'm going to tell you about it. Don't get all, oh no, this is different. Understand that Tim and I and Carlos and Jenna and Robert, we all do it a little bit different, and it's always good to hear everybody's little nuance on doing things, because you might not find, it's like the old saying, right? A prophet is never heard except in their own town. So you're going to hear something from Tim tonight that may just spark what you need in your business that'll help you out. So take notes, write down what he's saying, take everything in, look at it, go out. And I love what he's going to do, because at the end of this, for the last 30 minutes or so, you're going to have a chance for a few of you to have him evaluate your Facebook page, your Facebook profile. That's priceless. People pay a lot of money to have consulting and coaches do that for them. So Tim and Lacey, and Lacey's not here, but she's amazing. I was honored to share a stage with her in Nashville. She did an amazing, amazing job. Tim and Lacey are, I believe, the youngest 100K affiliates in the company. And they have done an amazing job, and I'm honored, Tim, that you had accept my invitation to come and speak to the Dream Team and to Tara's team and the Pukas and the Magic Formula and all of the people that are here. And I can see them, they keep on coming in. So without further ado, I want to give as much time as I can to Tim. And everybody, when you come in, I've got it so that you're muted. Stay muted unless we're at a point where we want you to talk, so that way the recording is clean and the training's clean. So without further ado, please help me welcome the man, the master, the myth, Mr. Timothy Garza.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I actually got to meet Ron for the first time at Nashville, and it was like meeting the grandpa I never had, so that was awesome. That's what I love about Hempworks. It's just a giant family. So for you guys that don't know me, my name is Tim Garza, and for you guys that follow me, you know that I like to keep things very basic. I like to keep things very simple, because I feel like basic duplicates. Once you start making things too complicated, as it goes further and further down your downline, it starts getting more misconstrued. So I like to keep everything just straight down and also just able to pass out quickly. So today we're going to talk about some very simple concepts. Really, it's just going to be about the psychology behind your Facebook profile. And I think hopefully this opens up your eyes a little bit as to why you want to take your social media presence just a little more serious, and it's really easy to maintain. So we'll be doing psychology. We'll be doing a profile cleanup, which basically I'll show you guys going through a profile, what main points that people will look at and what you need to look at. And the last 30 minutes we'll spend just doing live critiques. People can just suggest a name and I'll go to their profile and I'll go top to bottom and give any tips, tricks, or anything I can help you guys out with. So you guys can take this with you guys moving forward and start using it as early as when we get off the Zoom. So the first thing I want to talk about is the psychology, as in, what's your goal for your Facebook page? What's your goal for your profile? And mine is to improve response rate. Because I'm not sure if you guys are using the scripts or not, but me and my team, we use the scripts heavily. And the reason why we work on creating a solid profile is because when you're cold messaging people and you're talking to folks, the first thing they're going to do is when they receive that message, they're going to go to your profile before they even answer. And they're going to look at your profile. And you want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. It's kind of like it's a storefront. I want you guys to think of it that way. It's a storefront. And I'll go into that more. So another thing too is that we want to attract potentials. It's called attraction marketing. So we want folks who maybe they find us through the grapevine, maybe they find us in Facebook groups, whatever it may be. When they come to our page, they love what they see on the page. And one of the keys to that is that you can't just post, I wouldn't say random, but things that don't have value. And I'll go more into that as far as like posting material. But you want to make sure that your page actually teaches people some things, or at least helps them get their thinking caps on. Another thing too is that you want your page to be able to quickly build trust. That's a huge thing too, because if folks see that you're relatable and you're trustworthy, they're going to be more apt to do business with you right away. Instead of having to spend those 4 or 5 months where they're trying to get to know you and try to see who you are, if you put some effort up front first, making your page represent you and be like a quick snapshot of you, kind of like a personal website, your page can do all the selling for you. There are times where I've been asleep and I wake up to a whole lot of notifications from a random person who found my profile and kind of just started digging into what I had on my profile. And that's what you want. You want folks to binge on your content on your page. So now the next thing you want to think about is, what's your message? Your message, as far as you can think of it as your brand. Now, a brand is just that's your reputation online. That's what people think about you when you're not around. So you want to think about, who are you? What do you do? What do you like? And what are your goals? So who are you? So like for me, I'm a young dad. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an aspiring 100K affiliate, 250K affiliate. And I'm outgoing, right? So write down those little bullet points, because the thing is, when you're making your posts, you want to make sure that your posts kind of are in line with who you are as a person, because you want to attract similar people. You want to attract your tribe. If you start attracting folks who have a similar mindsets, interests, and passions as you, you'll see your business starts moving a lot faster, because you're not trying to convince anybody. Everybody's already on board with what you're doing, because you guys have so much in common. So the next thing you want to talk about is, what do you do? You can talk about your network marketing business. You can talk about your job. You can talk about anything that you have knowledge in, because the whole thing is that you want to be able to teach people something. Once people can learn something from you, they'll follow you and they'll pay attention to what you're doing. And they can start off with something, maybe you're good at gardening. Maybe you're good at cars. Talk about that. And then later on, they'll be interested because you're talking about things that they're interested about. And then eventually they can actually see that you have a business going on. And that's when they end up in your inbox asking, hey, what do you do for a living? And then you can have that conversation. So what do you like? Likes could be anything from, your personal interests. Do you like gardening, cars, cooking, knitting, crocheting? Anything can help you bring people in. Because let's say you find a demographic of crocheters who are single moms. You get 1,000 of those single moms on your group or on your team, you're golden. So there's a niche for every single thing that you guys can think of. So what I always have people do is, I have people make a list, and you have your passions, your likes, and your hobbies, and I have them write down 5 to 10 things on each column. And that right there will become your content list. That's what you make posts about, text posts, photos, etc., etc. Am I going too fast for anybody? Because I know sometimes I get to rambling. I just get going. Okay, cool. So the next thing are your goals. And the reason why you want to write down your goals is because you want people to see your vision. Because maybe people have the same vision. You know, for me, like my goals, I let people know that HempWorks for me, it is simply a vehicle to help me invest into other things that I'm passionate about. So when I talk to folks, when I pitch the business or I talk about the business, I don't talk about becoming like a huge affiliate at HempWorks. I talk about, folks, how much would you need to be able to retire? How much would you need to be able to afford for you to start that charity, the organization that you want to start? You help them, like Robert says, dream mode. You help them paint that picture for their head, right? So with your goals, I talk about things like how in the future, like, so we just started a second account, right? We have our first account, which went 100K, and we just started a second one on June 6th. And that one is actually going to be a trust fund for my kids. It's either going to pay for their schooling or it's going to pay for whatever business they want to start, and it'll be startup capital. And when I started that second account and I put that message out there, similar people who want to do the same things, like I had people hitting me up saying, I've been looking for a way to have money for my kids when they're older. They started joining my team. So when you talk about where you want to go in life, where you want HempWorks to take you, you'll find other folks who are trying to get there. They just haven't had a vehicle. And HempWorks can be that vehicle for them to get where they're trying to go. So that's part two. So what's our goal? What's your message? And then now we're going to talk about your storefront, AKA your Facebook profile. So if you've never done social media before or done a Facebook, I know a lot of folks say they've never played on it or anything like that. You got to think of this. This has the potential to be a 6 to 7 figure business. Like our Facebook profile page makes us 6 figures a year now. We're about to clip 200K in earnings next month. So this page, you have to you have to essentially see it as a store. It is like a Macy's. It is like a online retail store. And every time you go in those stores, what do they have? Proper displays, high quality images. It's not messy. There's nothing like negative. There's no propaganda. There's no political things on there. It's very neutral, but it's very professional and clean. So go into your Facebook profile, delete any of those pictures of you partying in college or doing something crazy. Eliminate all of those posts where maybe you had a bad day and you were just venting on social media. If you had, I see this a lot. If you recently broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend and you had like a crap talk fest on your Facebook page, take that stuff off. That does not look good. Hold on, my son wants to say hi. Yeah. This is my young CEO right here. He'll be running that new account here soon. Okay, so you want to have a clean profile, right? So that means that, don't touch it. Oops, hold on. You want to have a clean profile. So you want to make sure that, and I'll actually go through this. I'll go through a profile cleanup when I get done with this section, but you want to make sure you have a clean page, high quality content. So that means it's 2019, you know, if you have to buy a nice phone, it's actually a tax deduction because you're with HempWorks and you're a 1099er. So you can put that on your tax deductions and take high quality pictures. You want to think our only job at HempWorks is to become marketers. We don't have to worry about policies. We don't have to worry about distribution and shipping. All we have to do is get great at creating content that attracts people and piques interest so we can get them taking the free tour, right? So now, also too, I think I mentioned this before, no negativity. I know like there's a lot of political stuff. Maybe you are very political, but Facebook is not the place for that. There's a term called keyboard warriors, and Facebook brings out the best of them. So if you put something somewhat political, like people are gonna like hop on their Trojan horse and come at you for no reason, right? And that just doesn't make Facebook fun. You know, the other day I posted something, I don't know why I did, but I shared it because it was talking about how the immigrant kids were being sexually abused at a camp. And I was just trying to spread awareness on it. And I thought, you know, like people would be okay with it. All of a sudden it went from like one person was justifying the kids being sexually abused, and the other camp was like going at it. And all of a sudden I had like this huge thread. I just deleted it. Like it got really real really quick. So that's why you just avoid all political stuff because it can get ugly fast. Okay, so and then the last thing too is, guys, don't forget to show your sense of humor on your Facebook page. Humor sells. Humor builds trust fast. If you can laugh with somebody, you can have a good time with somebody. So if you look at my page, if you're not following me, go ahead and follow me. You can actually copy my posts. Copy them, reword them a little bit. Copy me until your own posts are coming out of your own head as far as like the type of quality that you want to create, right? You can use me as a reference point. So humor is huge. So when I'm talking about humor, I normally talk about my family, classic husband and wife things, classic, dad and kid things, people that people can relate to and they'll get a good laugh at. I made a status about me getting pulled over because I have a 17 Scat Pack Challenger, and I'm basically marketing to Challenger folks now. And I got pulled over, and the cop let me go because it was a Mopar, because he liked the car. So I was like, okay, like, let me make a status out of this. And it got like 300 likes. So just having a sense of humor with it can get you a long way, and it makes people relate to you. So the next thing now I want to talk about is how you can build a following, right? So when you first join HempWorks, when you first get into network marketing, and I dealt with this too, your original network is probably not that good. It's a lot of your local friends and family who don't really want to do anything. They're cool with where they're currently at. And they might even talk crap to you about you trying to better yourself and build a business for yourself. So you have to realize, like, that's going to happen. Like, that's just human nature. It's all good. No worries. But you have to focus on recreating your network. And how do you recreate your network? You have to find people that are similar to you. And you can find them in Facebook groups. You can go through your friend requests when you start getting them in. You can do suggested friends. I've actually been using suggested friends a lot, and it's been getting me some results because they already like the same stuff I like, are into the same type of content groups and stuff like that. So we kind of already have like a similar basis there. So the main place that I look for folks are Facebook groups, my friend requests, and suggested friends. And when I'm looking at suggested friends, I just make sure that they have no HempWorks mutual friends, because then I know that they're probably already affiliates. And now, the next thing is, if your page is not getting a lot of love, if you're posting all the time and you're not getting a lot of likes and you're not getting a lot of comments, it's because you have to show love to get love. So if you're not liking, commenting on people's stuff, they're not going to reciprocate that back. So the more love that you show, the more, and you can do this 20 to 30 minutes a day. You can literally spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day going down your timeline or going through your potentials list, like, love, comment, whatever you have to do, share it. And that love will start coming back because you'll start liking their stuff and they'll start liking your stuff. You do this with a certain amount of people and your posts are averaging 50 to 100 likes a post. And then you'll start seeing that people will actually start hopping on board to join faster because they see you have some sort of an influence. So one of the tricks that I do, so here's my trick to getting likes, right? I actually leverage HempWorks people. I leverage my HempWorks network to boost my likes and engagement. And I know that a lot of folks don't do this. I do the exact opposite. So a lot of people say, don't add HempWorks people. Don't only add potentials and things like that. But here's the thing with potentials and strangers. They're not going to like anything or engage with anything on your page. Because how many of us has this happened to where somebody has joined and they've said, I've been watching you for like 5 to 6 months now, or I've been watching you for 3 to 4 months now, and I'm ready to join now. They've never liked anything. They've never commented on anything. You don't even know who they are, but they've been watching for 5 to 6 months. That's why if you only have potentials and affiliates, they're just going to be silent. What you want are folks who are actually active on social media. So what I do, like in my group, I'm always trying to give value. I'm always doing trainings. You pay attention to who is being the most active inside the groups and you become friends with them and you start liking their stuff. And then they start liking your stuff. Because honestly, I love HempWorks people. They're my folks. Like we're like-minded. That's why we're all on the same team. So like I like their posts more than I like a majority of my friends' posts because all my friends are just talking about all the problems they have. But in HempWorks, we all know to be solution-based and we all talk about what we're trying to do. So that overall makes your timeline better. It's not about who got pregnant or who did so-and-so. Like it's about how somebody is trying to create a new life for themselves. And that's what you need to be surrounded by. That's the type of energy that you need around you. So I probably keep my friends list 70 to 60% HempWorks people. And I'll show you guys this when we share a screen. I'll go to my post and I'll show you like 90% of the likes on my stuff are HempWorks folks. 90% of the comments are HempWorks folks. So that means that when a potential comes to my page and they're randomly just scooping through my page and they see that I have 70 comments, 300 likes, that makes me a little more trustworthy because the cool thing with social media is that if you have a pretty decent following, people know that you can't really scam anybody. Because let's say I did do somebody dirty. They can make one Facebook post and my reputation would be over because I'm all over the internet. right? So it kind of, in a sense, holds you accountable, which is cool because people want that when they're trying to pick a leader, right? So also, too, the next thing is that you want to create valuable content. I kind of touched on this earlier. Valuable content is where it's at, whether it's memes. Here are some good Instagram profiles that you guys can do. Because if you follow me, you notice in the morning, I always post some type of meme, whether it's motivational, maybe it's a little technical, gives you guys some, like today, I posted an meme about how to scale a business and the psychology behind that. And people love that type of stuff, right? So in the morning, you got to realize that everybody is like 95% of people are getting up from work. They're driving a half hour to work and they're just bored on their phone. They're not supposed to text and drive, but they still text and drive. So they're always on their phone. And if you can be that constant little seed that has like a motivational post Monday, a motivational post Tuesday, just as they're glancing going to work, you quickly become like their favorite person to follow because you're not like everybody else who just talks about how hard life is, the problems they have, et cetera, et cetera. And it's sort of like you're a lighthouse. Like in a world full of complaints and darkness, you're like the light that's positive. And people are attracted to that. So create valuable content. You can do quick tips, tutorials. You want to slow down on sharing things too much as far as sharing things onto your page. Because I noticed on some folks, their whole Facebook wall is just shared videos, shared posts and things like that. That actually doesn't get that much visibility to your page. It just gets more visibility to the page that you shared it off of, right? So we don't want to redirect people. We want them to come to you so they can check out who you are. So that pretty much sums up the psychology part. So what's our goal? What's your message? Fixing up your storefront, get it together and make it clean, and then how to build a following. So before I move on, I'll take any questions you guys have real quick. Ron, if you want to open it up.
Yeah, but first, are y'all getting something out of this? Is this phenomenal or what? I mean, give it up for Tim. This is great. And I love what he's talking about is, you know, you're one of the things he said up front that's really important that we talk about a lot too, is that you need to be you. You need to be you, right? You need to let people know who you are and attract those people. And you're excited about your business. You start attracting people that are entrepreneurs and things like that. It's really great. So some huge nuggets that everybody should be writing down and looking at. So anybody got any questions at this point?
What's up, Brant?
Yes, go ahead.
Real quick, Tom or Tim. First of all, thank you for coming out and doing this tonight. But you are getting ready, and I missed this the other night when you were on with us. What are the Instagram followers again? You never said their names. Can you give us those links?
So Minority Mindset is a real good one. Time Investor is a good one. Hold on, let me see. Instant Success is another great one. Let me see here. Because I like my phone, my photo album is just full of memes. Like as soon as I find them, here's Financial Professional. That's a good one. Financial Professional again. Yeah, Financial Professional is really good because apparently, like the last 6 I had was from their page.
Yeah, that's super helpful because I think a lot of times that's what I run into. You know, having variety of content. You know, it's just a lot of times it's a picture of me trying to do a thoughtful post. So I look for variety in that stuff sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing with memes that if you find a good enough one, you don't have to put a caption. The meme speaks for itself or the photo speaks for itself. So when I post memes, I don't put a caption. I just put the meme itself. Motivation Attitudes is a good one. Let me see. Investing Simple is a good one. Keep scrolling. Oh, business right now. That's another good Instagram. And then I think that's pretty much the main ones, at least the ones I have on hand right now that I'm seeing. So it's cool to follow those folks because it gives you ideas on the type of content that you need to create. and it gives you a good reference point. And you can literally just spend the hour, go through their page, get like 6 or 7. You got 7 days. You got a week's worth of content in the morning, or if you want to post one time a day. So yeah. Any more questions before I move on?
Question, Branch? All right. Anybody else got a question before we move on? Start talking.
Phyllis?
Phyllis, go ahead.
Oh, she's muted. Hold on. Oh, you gotta unmute her.
I have a question.
Hey, Phyllis.
I lost you. Are you still there?
Yep.
Okay, I just have a quick question. When you said that about is it okay to put that you're a widow, or should you not even list that if you're
I mean, really, it's personal preference. You could. It's really up to you.
okay. I just we were married for so long, and it was some of the people that are reaching on there didn't know that I was, and so it hadn't been that long. So I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I'm not asking for sympathy. I mean.
Well,
and
if
the other thing, since I'm so new at this, how do you watch for when I started, I only had less than 200 friends, and I've tried to listen to Ron and Carlos and them about adding people. So I'm up to about 1,700.
Nice.
And, but a lot of them, I spend a lot of time deleting. Is it true that those people that can't show anything below, are those guys and even some women that they don't have anything when you look at their posts, they keep asking you to be their friends. Do you just go along and hit delete?
Yeah.
Because I'm so new at this that I don't want to. I don't want to get anybody on there. So is that all? That's you don't know where they're from or who they are because they don't have anything under there. Once you look at their profile and all that.
So I'll actually show you that.
Delete, right?
Yeah, correct. So I'll actually show you guys how I go through friend requests. And I show you how I kind of like qualify people that I want to add on. Because you definitely want to make sure they're a person. You definitely want to make sure they don't have any weird like profile pics or, anything spammy. You definitely want to watch because it is the internet. You got to watch yourself on the internet. So yeah, I would just make sure that you screen every person that you add because what I used to do, I used to just add everybody, right? Because I was just like add. And now I actually have to go back through and take the time to like delete people, and I hate it. So I always tell folks just do the little legwork in the beginning, see who you're adding onto your page. They could be a potential affiliate, or a potential team member. So just take the quick 30 seconds to look through their profile.
Okay, thank you.
Phyllis, I'll add this to it for just a little bit, but you ladies have got to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to get, even mention maybe that you're widowed and things like that. You're going to get a lot of people.
I think I'll take that off of there.
Yeah.
I think I'll take that off.
Yeah. You're going to, so you've got to be careful. That's why it's so important when Tim says go out and look at people's profile. If you're seeing people's profile that have no banner, no good picture, and no posts except for women and men, I'll tell you right now, just don't even waste your time. Just don't even go there. And women especially, you've got to be careful about that. So
I'm gonna take the widow part off. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
No problem.
Jesse, I saw that you had a question.
Yeah, please. Okay, I would agree with the lady that was just on. I'm a widow also, and I noticed that when I took that off, it made a big difference. People didn't think I was like coming after them for a new like mate. But anyway, I have a question.
Yeah.
We got the script from Jay and Michelle, so thank you for forwarding that on to everybody. My struggle is, when do you go to the script? Do you go right away, like after you add them and thanking them for, connecting with you? Or do you like learn a little bit about them first? Because I'm trying to learn about them because I want to see if it can be an authentic friendship, right? But I'm struggling with getting anywhere with people.
Yeah, so with me, I message somebody as soon as I add them as a friend, especially if they sent me a friend request. So I like to qualify people immediately, because first thing I do is I start the script out. Hey, do you have a second? And then we kind of work through that. And honestly, like, we may not know each other, but if I can help them make some money in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we can become friends. So that's kind of the mindset that I go into it, as far as like we can get to know each other. And two, like, that's why also you want to make sure that you have a solid Facebook page, because that'll help them get to know you better, and you can just go off of their page. And then you can kind of, like Robert talks about it, look at their page a little bit, see if you can't find little angles that you can talk to folks about, make you guys register with each other, and then kind of go from there. So I message people like as soon as they send me a request.
Okay, that's what I was just.
But some people are different,
curious.
So it's all personal preference. Right.
No, I just want to be effective. I don't want to be like going in for the kill right away, because people get pissy about that sometimes. But obviously they weren't meant to be on my team then.
Yeah, exactly. Because the whole thing is about sorting. We're about sorting, not convincing. Right. So I like to get the qualification out the way right away, because what's cool about the script is that you're not really asking them directly for anything. You're just asking them for help. Can you point me in the direction of somebody who needs to make some extra money, who wants to earn some extra money? So therefore, that pressure is gone to be like, hey, Jesse, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Hey, you want to join my business? That's a little too straightforward. But here it's like, hey, how's it going? You're just like, hey, do you have a second? And then after that, you kind of just ask them, I'm helping a company expand. You happen to know that I need some extra money. And then you kind of roll it from there. And then you kind of get to know them. And afterwards, in my eyes, if they ask for the free tour, I automatically add them to my potentials list. And then I'm like engaging with them daily. Like as soon as they put a new post up, I'm the guy that's loving it and putting a comment on it, because you want to make sure that you kind of stay in their eyesight. Plus two, the main mission with messaging right away is because as soon as they reply, even if they just say, hey, or if you message and they say, no, don't talk to me, you've already opened up the algorithm. They're going to see your posts for the next 2 weeks. Right. So even though if the conversation didn't go the right way, they already know, they're aware of you. They weren't before. And now if they see some posts that maybe help them through something, or, you put up something motivational that they like, they're going to come back to that conversation with a different attitude. And they'll realize that you were just trying to help them. Like you weren't trying to do anything weird. I'm just trying to help you make some extra money.
Perfect. Thanks, Tim.
No problem.
For those of you who don't know, real quick, the script that Jesse was talking about and Tim's talking about, if you go to the Daring Dream Team, under files, I created a document there with the script and the training that Tim did on that. So check that out. Beth, you have your hand up.
Hey,
Hi, Ron. How are you? Hi, Tim.
Hey.
First off, thanks for everything you guys do in sharing and teaching. It really means a lot. I just wanted to share with Phyllis, and I forget the other woman's name. My apologies. When I'm looking for people that friend me or I friend, I tend to go through their page and look for commonalities, like-minded people, things we have in common, because before I even bring the business, I like to stir up conversation and see where they're at. If you're a widow, if someone's married, unmarried. If someone is more mature like us and they're no husband on their profile page, you can guess they're either just single or widowed. So you can find like-minded people without putting all your stuff out there. And I find it much easier for me myself, if it helps at all. I generally screen everybody that friends request me. Just to see if they, come on. Because I like to comment on that.
She broke up on us.
You're breaking up really bad, Beth.
My apologies. I'm in the middle of traveling the country and occurred. I'm in a truck. Let me see if I can't get back to you in a little bit through this phone.
All right, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Any other questions before Tim goes on? Brandy?
Hi guys, thanks a lot for what you do. My question is, to grow your Instagram, what is the best tips and tricks to be able to do that? Is it the same as Facebook where you're commenting and you're liking or loving their post or whatever?
Yeah, so it's kind of the same ordeal that you have with Facebook. It's all about how you interact and how active you are on that platform. So what we do is normally we find pages that we like, and then we go into the comment section. We go into the comment section. We find people that are actually real, not just the bots. You know, Instagram has a lot of bots going on out there. And literally, we go through there. You do about 20 minutes a day if you want, or however long you can do. And you find quality folks that have actual, you know, content. You can tell that it's a real person. You like 3 or 4 of their things, and then you shoot them a message and say, hey, what's up, Brandy? How's it going? Just want to reach out and say, I love your content on your Instagram page. Keep being a badass. Do your thing. God bless.
Okay, good.
Now, and I do that.
Does anybody have any ideas on like Pinterest? I've never heard anybody talking about like Pinterest as a platform itself.
Yeah, I've actually never messed with Pinterest. I'm all about like, I pick one thing and then I just try to master it. So for me, it's just Facebook right now. Okay. My wife has started to build on Instagram a little bit, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But we mainly keep it on Facebook. But I'm sure like somebody here has to be able to build on Pinterest on Hempwork. So I'll just keep reaching out to folks.
Okay, great. Thanks for what you do. You guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you, Brandy. Love you. Awesome. Any more questions before I go into critiques?
Anybody?
Sweet.
All right. It's all yours.
Awesome. So now what we'll do is I'm going to share the screen real quick. Or Shannon, do you have a question, Shannon?
It's a quick question. I sent it to you privately because I didn't want to get into it, but it's a new thing I noticed on Instagram as far as being a creator account versus a business account. And I just don't know if you have noticed that. It's brand new. Content creators, public figures, influencers are going to that account. I just didn't know if you had advice on either of those.
I'm not really active on Instagram like that, but I do know a guy in another company that's huge in it, and I'll actually connect you to. His name's Luke Longmire. He's another network marketing company, primarily builds on Instagram. So I'll actually connect you with him, or I'll just get some basic tips and tricks, and then I'll like send it to Ron, and Ron can like blast it out to all you guys, so you guys get like a basic plan for Instagram. That sound good? Because I'm really not that knowledgeable on Insta. I'm real good at Facebook, but not so much Insta. Awesome.
Thank you.
No problem. So yeah, I guess now we'll go ahead and do the critiques. So let me share the screen. Okay. So how this works is people just start raising their hands, whoever wants to go first, and I'll literally just go to your Facebook profile and I'll just run down and I'll show you what I look for. So Ron, I'll let you decide and pick who wants to go first.
We're going to go with, I just saw these 2 hands come up. So Brandy and then Shannon.
Okay. So let me take off the bracelets. It's getting serious. Brandy Walsh. Right here. I've got to add you as a friend. So Brandy, I'm going to send you a friend request real quick. And just accept it so I can look at your page. Perfect. Okay, cool. So the main things that I look at, I'll pull up my little list too so you can see it. So on a profile cleanup, these are the main points that I look at. Actually, here we go here. Profile critiques. So you have I look at the cover photo, I look at the profile photo, I look at featured photos, bio, their info, and then their Facebook wall. So 1, 2, 3, 6 topics that I look at on each profile. So the first thing I'll start off with, let me put this over here. The first thing I start off with the cover photo. So normally on cover photos, I love that it's motivational, but on a cover photo, you kind of want something that is like you in a nutshell. So for me, it's like family, or my newest one, I tried something different, and it's actually a graphic of like entrepreneurship, because now I'm starting to get that reputation that like I want to be a mentor, I want to be a coach. So I'm helping people get in that mindset. So you want to normally keep your cover photo a picture of your family or picture of something personal. Your profile photo looks great, high quality, love it, love it. Your intro, boy, mom, nutrition, hempreneur, ridgeback mom, Libra, adventure seeker, yoga lover, I love it. Now, my opinion is a little different because I know everybody does things differently, but I honestly rarely put anything in the bio as far as like CBD or HempWorks or anything like that. Because what people are going to do is, let's say you're randomly reaching out to folks. The first thing they're going to do is go to your profile and look at your bio, because that's like a quick little snapshot of you. And it actually lowers the response rate because people see, oh, they're part of a CBD company. They're just trying to sell me something. That's why they're connecting with me, right? So I know some folks do, some folks don't, but I'm just giving you guys my perspective. I don't really have any type of business thing. Now in my work information, I have HempWorks, but other than that, I don't really post too many CBD things on my page because I make it strictly about personality and things like that. So I would fill out the rest of this info right here. So you have your affiliate at HempWorks, married to Brian Walsh, manages BW. You actually get more visibility if you fill out the rest of this. So like where you went to school, what your job is, also your followers, start building up your followers and things like that. So I would just go through that info spot and fill all that out. Your featured photos, what I've started doing is, because I want to start collecting followers, I actually, I took all of these out because this looks good. This looks good. But what I do is I take all of these out and I have a quick little graphic that talks about go ahead and hit that follow button. So when I release new content, when I post new content, you can see my stuff immediately and put on see first. Because you want as many eyes as possible on you as you can when you're either making a post or going live or anything like that. So again, that's personal preference on that one. But this looks great. Love it. That's like my son. He always carries it on the
That's
iPad now.
my little helper. He's amazing.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and it's nicely branded. I like how you have like picture, graphic. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. So if you want to keep that, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. On your websites, that looks good. I would maybe add your HempWorks website or free tour or something like that at the bottom in case somebody does, because they'll literally see all of this HempWorks graphics and things like that. Maybe they want to learn more. So that might actually boost your conversion rate on that as well. And then your photos are looking good. Definitely showing the family side. That's always great. Lead with family because that's really what you're doing it for. That's why everybody joins this business. It's to help them or their family out. You know, so you make yourself more relatable when you talk about your family a lot.
Okay.
Hey, I know that guy. Good guy. Okay, so cool. So now I've gone through your cover, your profile, your bio, your info, your featured photos. Now I go through.
Cover should be changed.
Yep, cover should be changed to your family.
Okay.
Got a beautiful family. Put them up there.
Thank you. I do love them.
Yeah, I love it. So let's see. One of the proud moments for me. Yep, I love that. Good use of emojis and good use of actually breaking up your text. I see a lot of people, they put like a huge chunk of like text, and that actually lowers your readability. People are lazy. We live in an instant gratification world where if they see a huge block of text, they're just going to keep scrolling to the next cat video below it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we're fighting for attention on this timeline. So we want to make it readable. We want to make it attractive. So good stuff with the emojis, good spacing. And yeah, I like the picture.
Okay.
So yeah, another thing too is that if you have a good post, you can literally, or do it on all your week's posts, just answer one comment per day and it will actually push your post to the top of the timeline. So if you have a good one, like a good live comments on, and you got like a whole bunch of comments, just once a day comments on one and it'll push that post back up so you can get a couple more likes. I do it with like old photos that I find of me and Lacey. Like I'll find one that was last year and I'll just comment like a heart on it and it'll push it back up. And then all of a sudden all my HempWorks people come in that are new that I've just met and I get like 90 more likes on that photo.
Awesome.
So you can just comment once a day to push that thing back up there and see if you can't get some more interaction on it. So another thing too with ratios. So with ratios as far as posting, I normally do like one business post per like 10 personal posts or per like 10. So these are the, let me pull this up. Yeah, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 things that you want to base your post on, right? First one is personal. The second one is business. The third one is family. So personal can be like you at the gym or you trying to figure out your own stuff, you know, stuff that you're into. Family, obviously family. And then interests, things that you like doing that you're currently doing. And then passions, things that you're passionate about. Maybe you want to help build shelters for dogs. Maybe you want to help build a new education system for kids. Those type of things helps paint the vision for people to get behind you on.
Okay.
So yeah, one business, maybe advertisement imports post per like 5 to 10 posts. Because if you only talk about the business and your page is only about the business, people are going to tune you out because there's hundreds of thousands of affiliates out here. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you stand out, and people don't join businesses, people join people. You know, so you want to let them get to know you. So also too, you could just, you know, oh yeah, I guess I mentioned that about the comments, just comment once a day.
Okay.
And another thing too, when you're posting and you're making business posts, you want to document, not sell. So if you're making a post, you want to talk about things that you're currently going through in your business. Like for me, I was talking about how this is our second month that we started with a completely cold market, 20 new affiliates, almost 2K in volume. But at the end, I wasn't like, if you want to change your life, come join me. I just left that off because the post already did its thing. If it's a good post, it will sell for yourself. You don't need to add that last like pitch in there because people are like, oh, it went from like informational to them just like trying to sell me some stuff. You know, so I let the post actually do the selling for itself. I don't actually go in for the ask because what you want to happen, they're waiting for that sale, but that sale is not coming. They're waiting for you to mention something business-wise, but it's not coming. So then they just end up in your inbox and they ask you, hey, what are you doing that's helping you make this, or you're doing this? Like, what do you talk about on your profile page? That is when the conversation has changed and you no longer have to convince people. You're just giving out information. You know, so that's what we're trying to get to. Let me see. Love it, love it. Coffee posts are always good. People love coffee posts. Everybody gets it.
Yeah.
I love that. So yeah, your page looks good. Because normally a bad Facebook wall to me is if I saw like every other post was a business post. But you know, you're doing good. I like it, Brandy.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
No problem. So yeah, just keep doing it.
It certainly helps whenever you have constructive criticism to help make you better. You know, I appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely, no problem. So yeah, just keep doing your thing. Change your cover photo. Do you go live at all?
Well, I'm trying to get comfortable. I know that seems cliche or whatever because I know it's what I need to do. But I'm so shaky and I'm so nervous that, you know, I don't feel like I don't know, like I did a few whenever I was on vacation. It seemed super natural to me on vacation on the beach, you know. And now after vacation, it's just like, okay, yeah, I do go to the beach because I live by the beach all the time, but how often are people going to really want to see the beach every day? You know, I'm kicking it on the beach every day, you know?
No, and I hear you. So here's the things with lives, right? Lives are the quickest way to build your business because it lets people get to know you. And the thing is, all the things that you're worried about, sounding dumb, looking dumb, not knowing what to talk about, that makes you human. Like that's what makes lives work. There have been times where I've been live and I've completely forgot what I was talking about because it's live, right? And the thing is, if you call that out on the live, like I'll say something like, crap, I completely forgot what I was talking about. The audience will like chime in, oh, you were talking about this. And now the audience is involved, right?
Now, is there priming involved in that? Like I get on live and then I immediately start my live. Should I wait and kind of stall a little bit and let a few more people jump on, or will they jump on, you know, as the live is going?
So there's it kind of depends on how I feel. Well, it basically just depends on how you feel that day. Like there are times where I'll hop on and like, okay, like I'll wait 2 minutes. If you're just watching, fast forward 2 minutes and you can watch me start this thing. Or if I just want to just get right into it, I just open it up. Hey, what's up, guys? All right, cool. We're going to talk about this. and then I just start rolling. So it really depends on how you're feeling that day. But when I first started, I always told folks just, hey, what's up? Hop on, where you guys from? Everybody check in. And then you can kind of get that rolling, and then you can start into your topic. So you like a little bit build rapport. And back to the lives, like everybody has their number, right? As far as like they're not nervous anymore. Because after you do about 20 to 40, I think I saw my number. I've probably done 185 lives. I think the last time I saw. So you can bet the first like 10 to 15, I was scared as hell, right? I was worried about what I was gonna say, stuttering, this, that, this, and that. But after a while, like, what does it matter, you know? And there have been so many times where I've had people who have joined me, because every time someone joins me, I reverse engineer the deal. As far as like, why'd you join me? What post or what live made you like want to say, okay, I'm ready to pull the trigger? And 9 times out of 10, it always comes down to a live. Like the last person that signed up, they saw me cooking spaghetti, and they were like, that's cool how you can talk about business stuff and cook your son spaghetti. I want to join. They bought like 2 director packs.
Oh, great.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So that's the fastest way, because you can only tell so much about somebody through text and through photos and stuff like that. But you actually want to see what their demeanor is. So who's that down there? Is that Shannon? Is the one who's freaking out with the glasses on? She's freaking out. It'll be okay, I promise. It'll be okay. It'll be okay, I promise. So look, guys, don't worry. I say like 70 times a live. I say like 40 times a live. Why? Because I'm human. Everybody does it, you know? So no problem. So I would maybe do 2 to 3 lives a week.
Okay.
If you want to start pushing yourself and getting yourself out there, just 2 to 3 lives a week. Pick a topic. And if you're having problems, pick a topic. Do that exercise I told you about, where you create, you create, I think it's like 3 to 4 columns. I'll send Ron a training, and Ron can send it to all of you guys about how to never run out of content ideas. And you literally just talk about stuff you know about. There's got to be something you're knowledgeable about that you can teach people or just talk about, and that will get people interested in learning about you.
Yeah, I'm a good gardener, so I can share.
There you go.
Tips.
Talk green thumb. Lacey needs that. We've been talking about doing that. So yeah, go ahead and get some tips and tricks on that. Okay, who's next?
Hey, Tim, quick question. To add on to the lives, do you recommend a call to action after every live? So whatever you talk, so let's say, for example, Brandy starts talking about gardening. And, you know, hey, as a side note, the reason I got, you know, all this free time is because of this amazing business. So do you recommend a call to action at the end of every live, or no? I don't. Okay. At least me, I don't, because people are waiting for that. You know, people are waiting for that. And just like, you know, we've all been invited to a seminar or something like that where we thought we were going to learn something. And then we're sitting there and we're waiting at the very end. They're like, but if you really want to learn how to do this stuff, sign up with the $10,000 private webinar, this, that, this, and that. So we kind of reverse that. And I know some people do, and that's totally fine. But this is just like my take on it, because I'm all about doing that reverse psychology. Like everything that they think is that I'm going to do, I do the opposite of, and it keeps them thinking, and they like that. So I literally just give the info out. I give the gold out, and then they'll come back on the next slide, and they'll come back on the next slide, because there's no pitching, there's no selling, until eventually they're inside of my inbox asking, hey, what do you do? So therefore, like there's no pitching, but it's really personal preference, but I don't. But either way though.
All right, thank you, Brandy. That was awesome, Tim. Shannon, you are next, and then we have Allison.
Okay. Hold on, for some reason it's not popping up the what's it called on me. Shannon, what's your last name, Shannon? If you can help me out, Ron.
Lee.
Shannon Lee.
Yep, Lee.
Perfect. Okay.
Hey Tim, real quick, can I say something while you're friend requesting her?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I learned, and I know what Carlos is talking about this, but I learned this from, and Wendy's a perfect example. I learned this from Ray Higdon about call to actions. And a good thing that you can do is if you can write up a professional list of what you're talking about. So if Wendy's talking about gardening and she can kind of put a few tips together, a good call to action at the end of that is private message me and I'll send you over my list of the tips that I just talked about tonight. And it's a good way to get them in your inbox. It's a good call to action that has nothing to do with the business, but you're actually getting them in your inbox and you're actually creating a connection. So that's a good tip to a call to action that has nothing to do really with the business, but you're creating that connection with the people. So if you can kind of type something up real quick and have it ready, then I've had people literally send me their email address so that I can email the file over to them. And it really does work. I don't do it on a regular basis, but it really does work.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Good stuff, man. Okay, so Shannon, is this you? Very nice, very nice. Ooh, Sherwood Forest. Is that a festival?
Electric Forest.
Oh, Electric Forest? Yeah, my cousin always goes to those. Those are fun. So let me see here. I love that. Now, here's the thing with festival demographic, right? Is that what I've noticed is I have like 3 or 4 affiliates who are in that same type of like area. It's hard to find folks because you want to make sure that your prospects are prospects and not suspects. So prospects are folks who have the financial authority and also the decision-making authority to join the business. So what I've noticed is that a lot of the festival folks that I talk to, like they want to do it. They're all about it. You know what I mean? But like they don't have the money, or can you like front them half the builder pack? You know what I mean? Like, so you definitely want, what I've learned is that you want to start marketing up. So what you could do too is that take your Electric Forest demographic and use that script to start taprooting up. Because one of those folks, let's say someone on a scale of, like Robert talks about this, on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Of resources and money, they're a 5. That 5 is going to introduce you to a 6 and to a 7 and to an 8. So you can start with these folks and then start taprooting to see who they know. They may have, like one girl I was talking to, she has a rich uncle. Now the rich uncle is interested in the business and he's interested in going all in. So you can start with someone like young kids like us and try to figure out who their uncles and nieces are. So I like your profile. I mean, I like your cover photo. You can keep it that way, but I would maybe put something of you and your family, or, you know, something personal to you. So that's what I would do on that one. Profile pic looks great. What is that? 90th with the label. I like it. I like it. 111 likes. Huh?
It's a friend's clothing label. It just ended up on the picture.
I like it. I like
the
it.
original.
Yeah, you got good interact. 111 likes. Very nice. Very nice. Let me see. Hammock enthusiast, like it. Lifestyle influencer, embrace your beauty. Yeah, I like it. If you like the text that way, that's totally fine. I would just maybe make it something more clear. Because let's say you get somebody who has bad vision. You know what I mean? It may just throw them off a little bit. So we want to also make sure, like I'm blind, so we want to we want to take into account for the other folks that have a hard time seeing. Let's see. This looks good. You got all of your information down there. That's good. Good featured photos. Love it. Love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Got all your websites there. High quality photos. I like it. Good photos in general. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Yep, I like that. Shout outs are good. Because then, especially if they approve that and all their network sees it, those are just more friends that'll come your way. So that's good. You're replying to everybody's stuff. Good job. Good job. I need to get better at that. I suck at replying to all the, I mean to, but like it gets away from me sometimes. So that's my fault. I need to get better at that. So let's see here. One personal CBD. I'm just looking for your ratios right now. So like this stuff, I wouldn't have this stuff because if you see like the thumbnail and stuff like that, it just looks like spammy. So like I would even delete that one or something, like just clean it up. And then you see how here you have back to back like CBD HempWorks type things. You don't want to do that. One professional or one advertisement per like 5 to 10 personal posts. Good stuff, having fun. It's good. Okay. So like you see right here, oh wait, is this the same video? So you see right here again, you have the back-to-back CBD.
Yeah, we had to start that video over. That's the only reason.
I gotcha. Okay.
There was
Well, that
nothing
makes sense.
new that I said in the first one, so that's why I kept both of them.
I gotcha. I do the same thing too. It's all good. So yeah, less HempWorks posts. Because right here you have Robert, then you have the HempWorks intro video and things like that. Yoga club, that's cool. So yeah, the main things, I would change your cover photo, and these are all suggestions. I'm not telling you to do anything. So change this photo to a more personal photo. Photos look great. Got your links there. And then your timeline, I would make it more personal. One HempWorks post for every 5 to 10 personal posts. But yeah, other than that, it looks great. Photos look good. I like the variety. Keep doing your thing. You have any questions?
Thank you. No.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Who's next?
All right. How many do you want to do, Tim?
I'll do 2 more.
Okay, so we have Allison is next. Allison H.
Allison, what?
What's your last name?
Hibbard, Hibbard.
ERD? Oh, ERT.
ARD.
Oh, sorry.
There
we go. Dude, look at the baby. Okay, so let me see. I'll add you real quick so I can see your stuff.
Can I ask a quick question while you're looking?
Yes. What's up?
If you join the Chamber of Commerce and you joined a Network Texas meeting, do you put that on there so people locally and around here can see that you're part of the Chamber of Commerce and does that give you,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know because I just done it and I got a lot of leads from it, but I haven't put it on my bio or anything. Or wherever, I don't know where you put it, but.
I would just put it on your bio or your info.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Do you add me? Okay. So let's see here. I can pretty much see enough from just this point right here. Beautiful baby. That's perfect. Having the family as the forefront. Love the profile photo. Beautiful family. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That's not even me.
That's not even you? Oh.
No. Maybe that's why I didn't get it.
I just sent some random person.
Allison, is yours up there?
This
No.
right here? Is it HIBBARD?
It's ALLYSON.
Ah.
There you go.
Okay.
Right there at the top.
Okay, perfect. So I like this, but I would maybe retake it with so the next time, so guys, here's a quick tip. When you guys are doing selfies, sometimes that front camera gets smudgy because maybe you had it on your face or it gets a little, you see how it's a little foggy right here? If you do a quick little wipe with your shirt or something like that, it takes a lot crisper photos, and also on lives. I know people would do that on lives too. It'll look smudgy. So I would just do a photo like this and just retake it. Just have it be a higher quality photo, like a clear photo. So just wipe the phone and then take another one. So okay. I would switch that one out. That's a good photo, even though it won't load. Yep, that's a good photo. And then I would add more info right here. And I would fill out the rest of the info right here on your intro. And then I would add a bio. So you could add something like, you know, puppy lover, something like your quick characteristics or something like that. So just add something quick right there. And then Your photos look good. Photos look good. Beautiful pup.
She's actually laying right here on the bed next to me.
I love it. I love it.
She's
Okay,
my
so
spot. She's with me just about everywhere.
so far the only thing I have is your cover photo. Switch that out. Add a bio. Finish out your intro part. Finish that information. Your photos look good. Let's look at your timeline real quick. I like that. That's funny. Yeah, humor sells. I like humor a lot. That's cute. I like that. How many friends do you have? Facebook friends?
I just started here about a month ago-ish, so I'm new to the game and working on all of it.
Okay, perfect. So I would definitely build up your HempWorks people just because they'll be active. They'll actually like your stuff. What I love about HempWorks folks is they actually let you know if you make a bad post or a good post. Because if it's a good post, they'll be all over it. But if it's a bad post, they just won't like it, but that's fair. At least like it helps you grade your content. And also too,
yeah,
I would if you're cool with it, I would switch this to public. I would make this page public because when you make it friends only, it's kind of like having a storefront with a brick wall around it. Only people with access to it can see it, right? And we want that walk by traffic, the folks who just randomly browse by your page and they see what's up. So I'll definitely make it public. Love it. Love it. So yeah, also too, you definitely want to make sure that you have more personal posts, more original content.
Spamming through some stuff today.
It's all good. So you also too, make sure that you don't want to have too many posts shared onto your page because it can actually lower the visibility of your page. So what I do sometimes, if I like a post on something, instead of sharing it, I'll actually save the photo, or if I can, save the video, and I'll post it myself on my own page and like write something about it.
Okay.
So therefore, it becomes original content. Because otherwise, it just redirects people back to the original page that you got it from. So yeah. So that seems to be the main thing. It's a lot of shared posts. So that's cool. I would just, slow down on that and then start, making more original content. So real quick, cover photo, bio, intro, and then more original posts. And then if you're cool with going live, I would start playing around going live. And I would even add something like a HempWorks post or something like that. Just so when people scroll, they can at least see at least one thing about your business. Does that sound good?
I've only been making 1 or 2 business posts a day.
Yep, that's perfect. That's perfect. Or actually, just make sure that keep the ratio of 1 per 5 to 10 personal posts you make a business post.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. No problem. So I think I got room for one more.
All right. Who else? One more person.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you look
What's
at
up?
mine? Oops.
Hey, Ron, I like.
Laura?
Yeah, I would.
Tim, you see it? Laura Freeland?
Yes.
I'm right under Ron.
Laura, how do you spell your last name?
Freeland.
L-A-N-D. Perfect. Okay. Is it Krayneck or just Freeland?
No, just I'm right there.
Yep, that's her first one.
Top one.
Oh.
Laura, you'll have to go out and accept.
Huh?
He's going to add you as a friend, so go out to your page and accept a friend request.
Just did.
Nice. Oh, beautiful pup.
Thank you.
So yeah, I would maybe retake this photo because you see how it's a little blurry.
Right.
I would maybe retake this photo. If you don't have a nice phone camera, then maybe a niece, grandbaby or something like that. Grab their phone real quick, take a couple photos. So, could you imagine if you had like a super high quality photo? It'd be amazing. it looks good, but we want to upgrade it a little bit, make that quality a little higher. So I would just retake that photo, get a clear photo of it. Love the profile pic. Yeah, like that looks good. That looks high quality. So like, let's take a similar picture of that of the pup, like similar quality. So I love that. I love your intro. Maybe add a bio, something about yourself. Now, I know some people do, but I'm kind of like on the opposite. I don't really put CBD or anything CBD inside. So if people are quickly looking at the page, they don't see, oh, it's another CBD salesman or something like that. They'll actually take the time to get to know you instead of having like, oh, they're waiting for that pitch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we don't want to do that. I would fill out the rest of this info right here, like where you're from, et cetera, where you work at. Love these photos. Yep, that's perfect. So that looks great. So yeah, 384. I would try to get my friends up to at least 2,000.
I'm trying to work on that. Yeah.
I know it's an uphill battle. It's a mountain for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just something you do a little bit at a day. A little bit a day. Add 10 to 15 new people a day. 5 to, whatever pace is sustainable for you.
Okay.
So yeah, I would definitely add more friends so you get more interactions going. If you're having problems adding folks at first, I would just add HipWorks people that are HipWorks folks who are active. So like I would only add people who are active in your group. So like they're commenting on stuff or they're commenting on other people's stuff because that lets you know if they're on Facebook. So I would add them. Let's see here. Yep, public, like it. I love Zig Ziglar. It's my guy. Okay, yep, good. So like you see right here, so this is just another ratio thing. So we have a CBD post, personal post, and then straight to CBD again. We want to stretch that out a little more.
All right.
We want to make sure that in between posts, in between CBD posts, there's a lot of personal things about you so people can get to know you.
Okay.
So let's see. Other than that, yeah, so I would definitely be heavy in those sports groups if you're not already.
Yeah.
Facebook groups and things like that. Also, too, like do lives about, tips and tricks for other horse breeders and horse owners and things like that.
I would have done, I was going to plan on doing a live this past Sunday, but it was not a good Sunday at all. But I plan on doing a live tomorrow with Ron.
There you go. So yeah, that's definitely a huge demographic that you have. Is just talk about your experience with horses, your knowledge and things like that. Just give out what you know, and that will come back to you.
Right. Okay.
Awesome. So other than that, your page looks good.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So that's how we do critiques. I do those probably like once a month for my team. I'll just do like an hour or something like that, and I'll just fly through them. And at first, we thought people were going to be like kind of like, no, don't look at my page, but it turns out people love them. So now that you guys have kind of like seen how I do these, they're very simple. It's like only 6 points you're covering. You can do these with your team. So if you weren't taking notes tonight, make sure that you get with somebody who took notes on that, and you can start practicing that because you want to make sure if you have a solid profile, you're going to up your response rate when you reach out to people, and you're going to up your affiliate rate because people will actually want to be in your circle. You know what I mean? So the quicker you can get your team on board, all you guys have solid profiles, because that's primarily where we build is on social media. And that's the beauty of it. You can do all this from your phone, if you just learn the skills necessary. So that's pretty much all I have, Ron. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
All right. You could stop sharing, or if you want.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
So we can see our lovely face. All right. Thank you, man. Tim, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Tim. That was great. I love doing these critiques and all of that. It just really helps out. And if you guys understand what Tim was talking about in the beginning, that's so important, is understanding why you're doing what you're doing. That will help drive you on your posts and your bios and all of that's going on. If you understand exactly what you're trying to do and what you're putting together, it makes it a lot easier when you're putting your post out there and so forth, because you know who you are, who you're trying to attract, what you're trying to do. It'll make a lot more sense for you. You know, and I totally agree. You know, I'll put out a post, and on most of my posts, I typically get anywhere from a couple of hundred to, 300 or 400 likes, and then, views and things like that. All of that stuff is great, but I will have to agree with Tim. The thing that's going to get you the most engagement on your profile and in your business are Facebook Lives. And we talk about this all the time. And Shannon's going, oh, no, please don't say that.
And the thing is, it's the scariest thing for a reason.
Because it works.
The best results. So, like, if that's your obstacle, like when I first came in, I knew that was the scariest part. So my first 30 minutes, I came in on a live just so I could, like, get that out of my system. So just tackle it head, straight ahead, and you'll be fine.
And I'll give you the one secret to get past your fear. It's really easy. If you want to conquer your fear in doing lives, it's really simple. And this will help you conquer your fear in anything that you have a fear of in your life. Take massive action.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're looking at me going, and I'm watching Shannon's face because she's the most. But the reality is that I'm going to give a perfect example. Carlos Martinez. When Carlos and I first got together and he got into business, I was kind of consulting with him on technical things because that's where my forte is. And when he came on board with the business, he asked me, well, what do I need to do? And I said, Carlos, you need to start doing lives. He did not do lives before he got in this business. Now, if you've seen Carlos's lives, he's phenomenal, right? Yep. But he had to get past that fear. Mm-hmm. And how do you get past the fear? You take action. There's just no other way to do it. There's all kinds of theories about, you want to pretend like you're talking to one person, or, I remember when I started speaking on stage, they said, picture everybody naked. Well, yeah, that didn't work. There's all kinds of things, but the reality, Shannon and Brandy and Laura, and those of you who are starting to get live, is you got to move from I'm getting ready to get ready, and you just got to you got to take action. You just got to get up and do it. You got to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to do it 3 times a week. You got to set a time. That helps. If you know there's a time in the day that you can do them each time, set that time down and then hold yourself to it and do it. Talk about what you know. Don't worry about, for me, I love them. If I don't do a live, I feel like something's wrong. But it wasn't always that way, right?
So real quick, I actually want to give you guys 2 tips that I do before going live, or when I was trying to get over going live. So the first one is you got to develop a strong why. For me, it's my kids and it's my wife. Like, I want to get Lacey to 250K. Even if I have to start up a whole new account and push her to 250K, I'll get her there, right? So you want to make sure that when you're, like, kind of feeling a little worried and a little timid, for me, it's also my kids. My kids need me to be fearless. My kids need me to have courage, right? So if you have kids, look at them. If you have a pup, look at them, right? And then here's the next part. The first time that you go live, or you're, like, kind of on the edge where you're just looking at that go live button, close your eyes and you just say, F it, and then press the button. And this works. I've had people who were terrified. I said, just do this one thing. You can just say the F word before you do it and just press the button and you'll be fine. I had my aunt, she was terrified of going live, and she did it and it worked. And she passed it down to her team, and now her team is doing it. Because sometimes you just got to take off that edge. Take off the edge, say a little something crazy, and then just go do the live. And if you screw it up, you screw it up. Delete it. Delete it and do another one the next day or the day after. It'll all work out.
Or leave it up. Because here's the value in leaving it up, too, is that people want to see your journey.
Yep.
They like going back and saying, oh, wow, look at Tim, look at Ron, look at Carlos when they first started. I'm not that bad. I can do that. Right.
Yeah.
So it's part of the journey. It's part of making you in that position where people know, like, and trust you. And that's what you're trying to get to. So,
yeah.
Tim, this has been phenomenal. I cannot thank you enough. Please.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you are welcome. Let's give it up for Tim. Please give our best to Lacey. We wish she could have been here, but I know feeling sick is not.
Yeah, she's struggle busting right now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody. Thank you again, Tim. Thank you all for being here. I hope you got a lot out of this. The recording is gonna be on our Daring Dream team. I'll actually, Tim, if you want a hard copy of the recording,
Yeah.
I can send that to you from Zoom. And anybody that wants that, we'll put it up on our Google Drive so that you guys have access to it. So God bless everybody, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.
Later, guys. Take it
Night,
easy.
everybody. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. That was valuable. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Carlos and Ron.
Dave, you're
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
God bless y'all.
Bye, guys. If you haven't already, send me a friend request. Follow me, copy my content.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Who was
Thank you and have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Ron.
Night, Elizabeth. Night, John Boy.